Hey YouTubers, Electric Adventures here, and I've built a monster cab. So it's a cocktail table made with an LCD monitor and a particular game board, which I'll go over in a minute, for a friend of mine. It has the second player and blue controls on this side, and it's only been fairly chippy knocked together. It does need a glass top, which I don't have this yet. We've got red controls and your credit button and player 1 button there. It's recycling a 17-inch LCD monitor. Let's fire him up. So he uses a board called Game Elf, because the person who wanted it particularly wanted vertical games. I did offer the normal 60 one, which is a pretty good one, but he wanted more shooter type games as well. And this one actually has quite a few games on it. Move a little bit. Alright, well hang on for a sec, I'll get the camera set up so I don't have to hold it while we play. Okay, we're back. Sorry about a little bit of fan noise, but it's cold here at the moment. Okay, so you need to put a credit in before you can select anything from the menu, and the timer just ticks around. You can set up different settings. So if we just want to play Mrs. Pac-Man, once we've got a credit in, we just press the one player credit button. There we go. And I've got the sound adjusted pretty well. I can put more credits in if I wanted to and play 2 players. A couple of ghosts. Ooh. Cutting up fine there. Should have gone for more ghosts, but anyway. Yeah. No, I'm dead. Oops, not the stand. Now, obviously you can keep on playing that game, keep on putting credits in. If you hold down the player 1 button for about 3 seconds, you go to a pop down menu and use the player 1 button, and we go back to the menu. So there's quite a few games. So obviously that was Miss Pac-Man, we've got Galaga, Frogger, Donkey Kong, Crazy Kong. I mean, there's different versions. I'll need to put credit in. Won't let you select anything unless you've got a credit in. Okay, let's try Donkey Kong Jr. Just want to demonstrate what the emulation is like on this board. I've had a copy of this board for ages, and this is the newer version of it, so I think this one has slightly more games than mine. But the sound seems pretty good on the games. And the important thing is they're full screen, so they're proper vertical games. Oh, missed him. Oh well. Sorry, my cat being a typical cat. Oops, didn't jump in time. Ah! You can see that plays quite well. So we'll go out. Okay, what else we got? And it shows a little preview of the game too, which is quite nice. Don't know what Galaxian Part X is. Galaxian Turbo, obviously twice as fast. Now you can press to the right to go to the next page. You've got Dig Dug, Mr. Do, Space Invaders Part 2, Space Invaders, not Return of Space Invaders, lots of Space Invaders, Galaga 3, Gyrus, one of my favourites, Super Cobra, Time Pilot, of course a Time Pilot, better not play that or I'll play it for too long. Millipede and Centipede, there's obviously no trackball in this. 1942, we have Burger Time, excellent game. Arkanoid, once again, probably really needs a spinner for that one. Juno First, Xevious, a lot of those games are on the 60-in-1, but you can already see some games that are not. Now we're getting further down the list now, and you're starting to see more. Now it has Gunsmoke, and I've got 3 buttons set up here, so I could actually play that, which is good. Another one of the 1943 games, Congo Bongo. A few more games there. I'll pick some more at random shortly. Astro Fighter, Bump and Jump's a good one. Darwin 4078 is a pretty unusual one. Whoops, the timer's gone off and it's run and randomly selected a game. So we've got Dorodon. Well, we might as well play it. I've never played this, so... Okay, I'm that thing. Oh, okay, and obviously not allowed to eat the Firebird. By the way, I've got a cat climbing on my back now. Of course. Okay, we'll go out. And it remembers you where you were in the menu, which is good. Put credit in. There you go, Fighting Roller. Gorkons, all sorts of really different, interesting early games. Here's another one that I used to play a bit back in the arcade. So you can punch and you can jump. Oops, you've got to be in range. I haven't played it for a while. And this one is a particular game that looks terrible if you play it on like a Pandora's box, which is primarily suited to oh, you got to press up to jump, that's right. Is primarily suited towards horizontal games. Woo. So we've got to get up there and ring the bell. Hey, we rescued the little Joey. Oh, copy. So it's actually not a bad little platformer. I've actually been thinking about making a Coleco and MSX version of that. So I'll leave that one with you, that idea with you. So let's get her out. Credit in. Actually, oops, there's another classic that used to play back in the day, Lunar Rescue, and I wrote a basic version of that for the MSX and Spectre video. Moon Aliens, a bit of a Galaxians rip-off. Sinbad. So there are lots of games on this board. Ninja game there. It's even Space Pilot, which is the clone of Time Pilot. And here's an interesting one. There's Space Firebird, which is what I'm trying to restore a cabinet to at the moment. Space Force, which is a bit of a asteroidsy type one. A couple of games with the same names but are actually different ones. You've even got Star Force and Starjacker on here, which are two great Sega games. Super Cobra. And it's one of the only boards you can get Tutankhamun on. And it's not a bad version. I'll just pause for a second and I'll get rid of the cat. Right, so here we go with Tutankhamun. Now, it sounds not 100% accurate. There really aren't a lot of... Oh, missed the corner. Really not a lot of versions of Tutankhamun out there, so... And I'd say there's a little bit of lag on the controls. You're missing the quite deep and, you know, explosive appearance sounds. We're only really getting the laser. Oops, got me. And you probably do need a gated 4-way joystick too, when it comes down to it. This is the hard thing about Tutankhamun. You've got to go get halfway here and then go back to get another key. I'm going to use one of my flash bombs. Oh, missed the corner again. That's probably done me. Ooh. Alright, we'll go back out. I actually don't know whether it saves the high scores or anything like that. I haven't really played with that part. Now, actually, this Uni War, I actually used to play that back in the day. There's a board of that around. Now we're up to Z now. But there are some more games after Z. They're not strictly in alphabet order. And then we go to a new, slightly more modern games. And one notable one that is here, it actually has the arcade version of Truxton. And if I went down a little bit further too, it'd have Truxton 2. An Outzone, which is quite a good game. Lightning Fighters. There's Truxton 2. That's another one I haven't heard of. Arm Formation, Dragon Spirit, Gemini Wings, Sky Soldiers. There's some really good shooters on this. It's even got one of my absolute favourites, Flying Shark. Another one that I have managed to get an original arcade board of. I haven't got it working yet. Just waiting for that to load. Bit of a longer boot on that one. So as you can see, it doesn't do a too bad job of playing quite a few classics. Oops. I said I'm behind the camera here, by the way. It's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. I need to wipe out all the red ones to get my special. Oh, got me. Now, I wouldn't say the sound's perfect on that by any stretch of the imagination. Time Soldiers there. Galaga 88, which is excellent. Final Star Force, I don't think I've played that one. Galaga 84, haven't heard of that one. Victory Road, Extermination, and still there is more, up to over 300 games. 1941 Counterattack, Frontline, Green Beret. Did you notice? Oh, we've got Qbert, Quicks, Joust 2, version of finished, Space Dungeons. There's actual Space Invaders after all the way through here. So Time Pilot 84, another one of my favourites from back in the day. Oh, Satan's Hollow back there I missed. Golf, Tron. We're still going, and look, it's got Don Patchy and Dodon Patchy, and it doesn't do a too bad job of those ones either. And the last game on the list is Raiden, another one of my favourites, and it does quite a good job at all of those. Done a bit of a look through. Well, let's end with that one. I've never played that one before. Well, this one might be a bit quiet. There is a volume thing, a switch in there as well that could be adjusted, and a volume thing on the actual board itself. So it's a bit like 19... Whoops. Okay, and you get more power-ups and things. Now, the whole thing with this cabinet, it wasn't very expensive to build. I actually had a lot of fun doing it. It's not supposed to be a real cabinet or anything like that. It's just supposed to you know, be something light, enjoyable. So this, you know, because it's so light, can be moved around quite easily. It's on wheels as well, which lock. Whoops, and I died. Don't know what I'm doing. So there's a lot of good fun to be had on this little unit, so I'm quite pleased with how it's come together. A little quick look inside. It's not going to be the neatest in the universe, so I come around, just open him up. So we have a nice power supply in there. There's a speaker hiding down there. I'll put the instructions for the game elf in there, and there's the board. The board's doing, that little board's doing all the work. It's a little bit more expensive than the 60-in one, but obviously got a lot more games on it. And it's just a stripped down 17-inch LCD monitor. And the controls, they're nothing special. I haven't hooked up the lights that you can turn on them because I don't particularly like lighter controls, but that can always be done later. So there is a quick look at my monster cab, monster custom cab. And I said it only took 3 sheets of marine ply to put together as well. And now that I've built one for somebody else, and I might have a go at making, one for myself as well. Alright, I'm Electric Adventures, thanks to all my subscribers, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.
Bye.